And you already know what it is. Jay Williams, let's live life, and we're back. Now, I think it's no secret. Knives, shanks, shivs, pokers, bangers, whatever you want to call them, they're in prison. There's lots of them. Depending on where you go, you may or may not need one. And that's a part of today's story. A guy that was known for making weapons and distributing them. Watching the chaos that ensues after you give somebody that's not mentally wrapped right a knife. And what he then goes and does with that knife. Only for you to deal with somebody you probably should have never dealt with. Have that taken from you. And then used in a manner you probably never expected. Now let's make this very, very clear. I do not glorify prison. I do not glorify violence. I don't think it's cool. And I don't suggest anybody does it. It's nothing like the brochure. There's no swimming pools. There's no golf courses. There's no tennis. There's no none of that. There will be no luxury meals. No bad women. All that goes out the window. But what there will be is weapons. What there will be is violence. Blood will be shed. People will get hurt. You will watch it or you will become a part of it. And that all plays in to today's stories. Now, my advice to you is if you ain't never been to prison, don't go to prison. Don't do things to get locked up. Don't be stupid. Don't do the, oh, I'm a victim of my circumstances. I didn't have no other choice. This is all I know. This is how I was raised. It ain't my fault. I'm innocent. No. But either way, I've got a great story for y'all today on a guy named TL. Now, TL was not the brightest crayon in the box, was not the sharpest tool in the shed, was not the brightest bulb in the broken package. TL wanted to be everybody's friend, and that would be TL's downfall. Anyways, I've said enough. Make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night for the live, somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock. With all that being said, you know how to seen it, you know how to lived it, so let's relive it. Now, why I've always got to say this, I'm not sure. But if you're here for the first time, then I understand. But if you've watched multiple videos and then you're still going to be like, well, it doesn't go that way here, and we don't do that. I'm not there, I'm here. So let me break down how things take place here. We don't segregate by race. We just don't. Here, you're not going to be protected by a bunch of guys from your race. It don't happen. Here, it's every man for himself. You came in by yourself, you're going to leave out by yourself, and you're going to deal with your problems by yourself unless you join a gang, and then everybody's going to deal with your problems, and they're going to create more problems, and then you just got a whole lot of problems. But here in the state of VA and lots of other states, don't let them lie to y'all now. We don't click up by race. We don't follow the race politics. Black guys and white guys not mixing, not doing business. If something happens to a white guy, all the white guys band together. Doesn't work like that here. Your ass is shark bait. I told you stay out of prison. Whatever you want to do, you're free to do it. But please remember it comes with a cost. If you find yourself in a situation, it's up to you to handle that situation unless you got some close homeboys that are ready to rock out behind you. So it should come as no surprise that if so many people are having to stand up for themselves with nobody standing behind them and no race supporting them or coming to war for them, you're going to need a knife. If everybody else is ready to go at it and you don't have one, you're in a bad situation. So making knives in prison is a big business. Now, I won't lie, there was a time I made distributor knives, and then I stopped. I watched something very, very terrible happen one time after I passed something off, something I did not expect to happen. The guy told me, no, we're just going to have it just in case. We'll hold it just to scare them. It's going to be the biggest thing around here. Well, you ain't got to worry about nothing. And he went right over there and used the damn thing on somebody else. And from that point there, I wanted nothing else from it. It's like selling a gun to somebody and then watching them go, pow, hit somebody with it right in front of you. And you're like, oh, shit, I'm never getting out of prison. I'm going to jail forever. I engaged in making knives. I had the access to the metal. I had a maintenance job. I was around metal all day. I was around grinders all day, plasma cutters, sawzalls, you name it, I was around it. There's nothing for me to lock something in the vise and stand in the maintenance shop as I'm supposed to be doing one thing and take the grinder and run it back and forth until I got a sharp point over the next 5-10 minutes because, hey, I'm supposed to be over here cutting rebar. We get a dude named TL. Now, that's not the name he went by, but that's his initials, so that's what we're going to call him, TL. Got no money from the streets. Well, what he did have was an acquired set of skills. He knew how to make weapons. And if he didn't know how to make weapons prior to coming in there, he got real good at it real fast. Because the stuff I seen this boy was pushing out there was just next level. Now, TL was a thief. He's in prison for stealing. So you would think that if you go to prison for stealing, you like want to reform yourself and not continue to do that. It's not the case with TL. TL gets straight into the kitchen job and starts stealing immediately. Now he's got the eggs on deck. He's got bread. He's got peanut butter. He's got all this different stuff we don't have access to. And that's how he's making his little hustle. Or at least I thought that was the point of him being in the kitchen. What I didn't know is that anytime TL got a chance, he would look around to where there was some metal somewhere that wasn't really serving no purpose. Might be underneath the counter that you can fold and break off. He's going to snap something off. He's going to get it back to the building. And that's going to bring him a lot more money than anything in that chow hall that you can eat. Not only was he making weapons, but he's walking around showing them to guys. And a lot of these guys want the knife, can't afford the knife, and will do what they have to do to get the knife. He was in a cell with an older black guy, tall, skinny black guy. And that guy tells him, get the hell out of my cell. You can't be in here anymore. I've been down a long time. That knife you got right there, you're not going to own up to it. They're going to ship me to a Supermax because of your knife, so you got to go. So they end up packing him up, and that would be the worst thing I think that could happen for him and his career being an inmate. He ends up going in a cell with a white dude named Shorty. A little short white dude. I did a story on him. He ended up with the GD dude and whatever. Shorty drinks coffee all day. He gets a little help from the streets, works his little pod job, cleans the showers, but he don't bother nobody. So he don't give a damn that TL sits up in a cell all day making knives. And over the course of the next few months, I would say he probably made 6, 7 different knives that he passed out. Now, he's not giving these to choir boys. He's not giving these to church boys. He's giving these things to convicted killers. Guys that will down with that thing and take you up do all that to you and not really care because most of them aren't going home. By now, he's got a little group of guys he runs with, but not one of them would bust a grape in a fruit fight. You know the type, loud as a motorbike, but wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight? Those type of guys. I remember he dropped one on the basketball court, walking across the court one day outside on the rec yard, and an older white dude stopped him and said, hey, youngin', come here, because he stopped and picked it up. He said, come here. Why do you have that? Because you know how it gets in here. That's liable to get you a life taken. That's liable to be the reason you get poked up. Your chances of getting hit with a knife are much higher if everybody knows you carry a knife. A man that's known for fighting, if he's just a beast with his hands, yes, somebody might bring him because they don't want an ass whooping. But when you're just an everyday average dude that most dudes feel like they can whoop, and now you got a knife, well, there's still some guys that come in and just beat you up. But then there's some guys that are going to bring a knife and take your knife. Or if you get into an altercation with them, they're going to bring their knife. And here's the difference between TL and this guy. This guy will use his knife. He's used weapons in before. You're play pimping. You got this for show. You want people to know you got this, thinking it makes you look tough. Kind of like when somebody runs around the streets with a gun, knowing they're not going to bust it. They're taking pictures with it, showing it to people. And then one day somebody says, let me see it. And they takes it from him. Same situation. Now, we have a black dude in my pod at the time named Twin. Twin is never going home. I don't know why his name is Twin. I have a white friend named Twin. Shout out to Jacob Aquino, coming home in 2028. But we have a black guy in our pod named Twin. So like anything, time fast forwards. I would see TL, he lost his kitchen job for stealing. I think they caught him with oranges and some other things, some sugar, some yeast, stuff to make wine with. He loses his job. So now he's lost his access to getting the stuff he's breaking off in the kitchen. But after this, I would see him on the yard. Now, he would take his belt off, put it through the fence, and they have these fence ties that tie the fence to the bar, and he would put it around it, and he would pull it. And untwist this knot that's wrapped around the fence that goes around the bar and wraps back around the fence. Until he could get it out, he'd straighten it, and now he's got a poker. He's got an ice pick they range from 4 inches, 8 inches. Now, I've got a whole list of guys I would have said, nah, you shouldn't sell him a knife. No, he definitely doesn't need a knife. I'm liable to get to beefing with that guy, and he's going to stab me with something either I made or you made. No, he doesn't need a knife. He needs kittens, flowers, hugs, like family, just psychiatrist, psychologist. Last thing he needs is a knife. He needs Jesus. Let's be real. Well, Twin runs into a situation with the barber. I've seen the barbers probably get in more situations than most guys. The barbers are highly valued. They're highly needed. But guys just don't respect the line sometimes. Twin's got a visit this morning, and the barber's up there cutting hair. He's in the middle of cutting dude's hair. When they call Twin's name and say, hey, such, you have a visit. He goes up there, and the barber says, well, you got to wait till I finish cutting. Hey, just tighten me up real quick. Just line me up, hit the sides, and I'm gone, man. It take 15 minutes. Rob in the middle of cutting dude's hair, man. Let me finish up his hair. He's a paying customer. Twin ain't trying to pay nothing. He's a crud ball. Let me finish cutting up his hair, and I got you. Now, I need my hair cut. Hey, homeboy, come out. He's not coming up out the chair. He's going to sit right and you don't carry me like that. I'm not carrying you, man, but you got to respect the line. Like, you don't come before everybody else. Not to mention the barber dude himself is a brolic dude. He's been down a long. His name was Ash. Shout out, Ash. Ash has been down a long time, and Ash is like, look, I'm not budging on it. Matter of fact, you want to holler at the other dude, get him cut your hair. You want to get all snazzy, run your mouth like this and that, like somebody scared you. I don't care nothing about that. He's not coming up out the chair. Keep it moving. Now, Twin feels some type of way. Goes on to his visit. Here's the crazy thing. He wasn't boofing. He didn't really need a lineup. It's not like his hair had really grown out. It's pause. Let's continue. Now, here's the craziest part about it. He didn't even really need a shape up. He didn't need a haircut. He just wanted one. He's one of those dudes that even though he's locked up, he's going to stay fresh. You are surrounded by all men. I get good hygiene and all that and wanting to go over and looking nice, but your hair didn't need to be cut. But Ash tells him, just roll out, man. I ain't got nothing for you. Well, I'm going to holler at you then. Well, holler at me. You know what I mean? Don't holler at me then. Holler at me now. No, I got you. At this point, Twin ain't got a knife. But you know who does have a knife? TL. And like I told y'all, by now, TL's got a little squad of homeboys, but they're all flunkies. These dudes ain't going to do nothing. When TL finds himself in a situation, these dudes are going to tuck tail and run. So at this point, we've got these lockers on the bottom of our bunk. They're just metal boxes welded to the bottom of the bunk. This dude's done broke the lip off of it. He's took it and pulled it and pried it until he's got 14, 16-inch piece of metal that he's now flattened out and he started to sharpen. Couple dudes have talked about it. He broke a piece of how'd you break a piece of the locker off? Somehow he broke the welds, broke the flap off, and he's got a big ass piece of metal. This ain't gotta be. The rumors I heard was this guy that's probably 2 feet long. This thing's like a sword. I've seen swords. It wasn't a sword, but it was huge. Turns out this thing's about 14 to 16 inches long. Twin goes to him, what's up with the knives, homeboy? And I got you what you need. Something sharp, need something that'll poke, something I can use. I got you. What you trying to spend? What you gonna charge me for it? I charge everybody the same thing, $20. Bring me half the money up front. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. You get knocked off with the knife. I lose the knife. I lose my money. I'm not doing that. Finish the knife up and I'll bring you the money. Don't ever go against what you say you're going to do. Don't let nobody else predict how you're going to do business or what you're going to do with something that's yours. That was the first place TL messed up, is when he told him, nah, I'm not going to pay you right now. I'll pay you when you're done. Give me half up front. And when the knife's done, you give me the other half and you take it. No, I'll pay you when you're done. You have the knife done. He finishes the knife in a couple days. Meanwhile, Twin's walking around mad. You can see some of these dudes, they give off a, oh shit, something's about to happen type vibe. It gets a little weird in there. Me and my celly get talking. He said, man, you know Twin gonna stab Ash up, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Better get all your affairs in line. You better get everything you need to get done, because we're not coming out to sell for a while. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. So days pass now. We get into the better part of the week. This ain't like you got an angle grinder inside your cell. You are literally in there sharpening this thing on the side of the bunk, sharpening on the concrete. Some guys will go out on the rec yard and sharpening on the blacktop, sharpening on the side of a brick wall, sharpening wherever you can sharpen it. They use concrete. Surfaces like that is almost like a sharpening stone to sharpen down the edge of this knife. Better part of a week passes, and I would see Twin daily go over to TL's cell. I guess inquiring about the knife. I don't know what he said to sell, but I can only guess this ain't his type of dude. Whenever Twin would go over there, the little flunky dudes that TL hung out with would walk off. He'd tell us, seller, hey, let me holler at TL real quick, man. Can you step out the cell real quick? I need to step in the cell and talk to TL. Now, I'm not stupid. They have no reason to be talking except for business. And my guess is that when he steps in the cell, TL pulls a knife out, shows him, look, this is how far, man, that's a butter knife right now. We ain't making sandwiches. I need a knife. I'm working on it. Twin would roll out. Now, Ash don't even live in our pod. Ash lives in the pod next door, but he's the barber. He cuts that side and this side's hair. Everybody knows Ash. Super cool dude. Why you would even try to beef with Ash is beside me, but that's besides the point. And now at this point, dudes have told TL, he's not going to pay you for the knife. That dude is a savage. He stabbed what's his name in the back. I mean, like stuck him, like put the whole knife in his back. He's not going to pay you. He's not that type of dude. He's in here for taking life. He's in here for robbing. Like, you think he's just going to pay some little random-ass white dude for a knife that he could just take from you? Everybody comes in from rec one day and you see Twin yell at TL, hey, TL, what's up with it? Let me holler at you real quick. And he goes over there and it's the same routine. Dudes roll out. TL Sully's already out in the pod. He steps in the cell and gets to talking to him. They get to arguing. You hear Twins done slapped the shit out of TL. I guess was asking him for the knife. Hey, I got the money, man. Stop acting funny about it. I'll give you the money. Just give me the knife. Hey, look, you got to show me the money. Give me the knife. I ain't got the knife on me. Where's the knife at? Goes through his cell, starts flipping the matches. We all know the hiding spots. Twin more or less starts robbing him, going through his cell. And I'm not going to say he took anything he shouldn't have took, but he's looking for this damn knife. He's searching everywhere. Meanwhile, you got TL standing outside the door holding his face. Twin comes out. I need that, man. I told you I'd pay you for it. I'll still pay you for it, but I need that. Stop playing with me. Shit's serious right now. Twin goes and stands in his doorway and just stands there watching TL, looking at TL's cell. Other dudes are looking at Twin, they're looking at TL, they're looking at Twin, and they're like, yeah, I'm not going to talk to TL right now. Twin just slapped the shit out of him, just flipped his whole cell, not going over there. That's my homeboy, but I'm going to stay far away from him. He's dealing with a real one. Now, contrary to our beliefs, I thought that he gave it to one of his homeboys. I guess they were smarter than they seemed, but we have these buffers. We have this small closet where you put like floor buffers. Dude, the floor in prison looks like glass. They're constantly buffing this dirty ass, old ass, waxed ass floor. But we have these floor buffers in the closet, and that door stays open all day with his utility closets is, and his buffers stay inside of, and he goes to his utility closet. That was a #1 hiding space for a lot of guys. It's a common area. If it gets caught in there, there's nothing you can do to me unless you know for a fact I put it there so you can get away with it. I watch TL. Twin watches TL. A whole rack of dudes in here watch TL go over to that closet. He's in there no less than maybe 20, 30 seconds, so we know what he's doing. He's retrieving the knife. The knife is ready when he goes back to his cell. Twin looks over at him, and Twin goes towards his door, steps in again, and they get to talking. And I'm guessing TL's like, well, where's the money at? I need the money. I'm not just going to give it to you if you're not going to give me the money. About this time, a guard comes in and starts doing rounds. They usually do rounds right after wreck. Right? As soon as we come in, the guard's got to come into the door. So he's going to walk through the pod real quick and check and make sure everything is okay. Twin steps out the cell, walks down to his cell. Now he's standing there. Now he knows the knife is down there, but he's got to wait for these guards to leave out. TL's not as stupid as he seems. TL comes out the cell and goes sits at the table. Twin goes and sits at the table. We watch the guard. He walks the bottom tier, goes up the stairs, walks the top tier, goes down to the end of the tier, disappears to the door. Twin stands up and says, let me holler at you in the cell real quick. No, I'm not, we're not going to the cell. Bring my commissary out here. Bring the stuff you're supposed to pay me with out here, and I'll give it to you. Twin, come to my cell real quick. You can commissary. No, I'm not. You done slapped him up. You done did this and that. Why dudes would inflict violence on somebody and then think they're going to get a positive result out of it is mind-blowing, right? So at this point, he's in the cell with a dude named Black. Twin is. And he calls Black over there. Black is also another lifer that's never going home, that is on bullshit all day, every day, that's with the business, that's looking to do something he shouldn't be doing. And he tells Black, hey, go check his cell, man. Go flip the bed up, do the same shit I did, look and see if that knife is in there. At this point, TL knows it's up. He knows that he's pretty much got one option. You done created this weapon that this man is going to use on another man. But now he's trying to strong-arm you. Black waits till that guard's fully gone, looks around, makes sure the officer in the booth ain't looking, goes over there, goes in his cell. After about 45 seconds, he comes out, he says, it ain't in the cell, he's got to have it on him. Twin tells TL, stand up, man. Stand up, come, let's go to my cell. I'm not going to the cell. Stand up, I'm not going to the cell. I'm not going to the cell. Twin stands up, steps behind TL, looks around, guard ain't looking, grabs TL by the back of his shirt and starts dragging him towards the cell. While he's in the process of dragging him, the stupid-ass knife falls out. Now, this was a big-ass knife that fell out. When I'm talking big-ass knife, like something out of a horror movie, something you wouldn't expect to see in prison. But you can go look at these prison videos of some of these knives that are made. But this big-ass knife falls out of his pants leg as he's dragging him. Black runs over and grabs it. Twin punches TL one good time, boom, right in the side of the head. Why you got to make things difficult? Lets him go, laying in the floor, all balled up in front of everybody. Turns around and walks off. TL gets up, walking towards the cell, passes one of his homeboys, and he did the stupidest shit he probably could have done. What he did next altered his life, changed everything that was going to happen. He walks by one of his homeboys, and there's dudes standing in the doors that just, maybe it was his ego got hurt, whatever it was. He says, dude acts like that's the last knife I got, and like I ain't going to make another one. Pretty much insinuating, as soon as I get my hands on a knife, I'm going to poke the shit out you. You should have poked him with the one you had if that's what you was going to do. And he goes on into the cell. Dudes are like females in prison. They love to gossip. Now watch another dude that was standing there when he said this. Look around. Go right down to Twin's cell and tell him what TL just said. It wasn't no sooner than this dude finished opening his mouth. Twin shoots down there. Goes up in the cell with TL, pushes the button, shuts the door, and you hear the scuffling begin. After about 30 seconds, you hear TL screaming, "Oh, you stuck me, you cut me. Stop. Now, you don't hear anything from Twin. And then the door pops. Twin comes out, walks down to his cell. Another 30 seconds, 45 seconds passes. TL comes out. He's holding his stomach. He's bleeding. Twin done stabbed him in the stomach. You know how much damage you can do by stabbing a man in the stomach? There's so much in there that can go wrong. But he staggers towards the control booth. Now everybody goes into prison mode. It ain't your business. Mind your business, right? Everybody looks around. Everybody's acting like they're not watching what's going on, but looking straight at what's going on. Twin just came out the cell with blood on him. TL's walking towards the control booth, stabbed in the stomach. And you got other inmates. A lot of dudes think they're doctors in prisons. Hey, TL, come here. Let me see. I can fix it. Come here. Yeah. I can put... Absolutely. I can fix your intestines. Come here. Don't go to the booth. Dudes are more worried about commissary getting locked down. Worried about going and getting locked in a cell all day. Worried about the shakedown that's going to ensue after he goes to that control booth. TL goes right control booth. You got 2 or 3 guys that try to run up on him and grab his shirt and pull him. He's pulling away and he's leaking. He's bleeding. He's stuck. Not to mention he's got punch marks on his face, a couple knots on his head where Twin put them hands on him before he actually stuck him. I don't know if he was like trying to hold a knife, he was punching him with the other hand. I don't know what the case is, but he punched him all up, slapped him all up, and then poked him in the stomach. Mind you now, I told you, this is a big-ass knife he just stuck him with. I don't know how much just put the head in. I don't know how much he put in him, but I know he put enough that this boy's gushing. He's walking to the control. Nobody gives a shit about you in prison. Inmates are telling him, hey, you better tell him you fell on something. You better not tell him you got stuck. He gets to the control booth. He tells Officer Lacey, see, I need to go to medical right now. I'm hurt bad. Well, what's wrong with you? I'm hurt. Well, what's wrong with you? Somebody stabbed me. You don't look stabbed. Now, she's up in the air. So all she can see is like your face up. If you're down at the chuck hole, this is all she can see. What she can't see is his lower section. He backs up and he says, somebody stabbed me. She immediately gets on the loudspeaker. Everybody in your cells, everybody locked down right now. She starts calling the code, the distress code. We got an inmate that's been stabbed, inmate on inmate combat, possible knife. We need nurses. We need this. We all going, we locking ourselves. Now, the first thing they do is they come in and they get TL out and they rush him over to medical. And then the Sally Port door closes. I'm standing there looking at the pod thinking, ain't this a bitch? I knew this was going to end bad. Everybody knew this was going to end bad. And then out of nowhere, I see this knife that Twin had. Phew, he throws it. It flies across the pod because they're going to come in searching for it. And it slides across the floor. Guards come in and they're searching cell for cell for cell. The entire time the knife is laying by the table. Not once did they go over by the tables. And they come through and they do a quick dust up is what we call it. Where they just come and flip stuff up in your cell. They know what they're looking for. They're looking for a knife. So they ain't got to look in soap, shampoo bottles. They're checking mattresses, under mattresses, looking in crevices. And in a matter of an hour, they've shook down the bottom tier. You fast forward another hour, they shake down the top tier. This is 43 cells. That's how fast these guards are moving through here. That's how much they care about TL getting stabbed. All the doors open, and I watched Twin come out the cell and walk right over to the table where that knife was. Pick that knife up, take it right back in the cell. They did all this shaking down and didn't find the knife. All they had to do was look over by the table. It's laying in the middle of the floor, dummy. I watched these people walk by it, stupid. But nobody discovers the knife. Twin takes it on back in the cell. Now, what I'm expecting next to happen is he's going to stab TL behind getting the knife because he was too broke or just felt like he wasn't going to pay no white boy for no knife. Now he's going to go at Ash. But what none of us realize at this point in time is that the cameras are now working again. We would go through long periods where the cameras wouldn't work. Certain guards call themselves being cool with telling inmates, hey, the cameras is out, man. Them Jones been out for 3 months. Might tell them it might be after Christmas before they fix it again. But what we don't know is the cameras are back on. We're back out in the pod now doing our usual wreck. Isolated incident. We don't know who stabbed him. We didn't find no knife. Nothing much more we can do, right? I go to the hot pot and get some hot water. This is a thing that distributes 190-degree hot water. Putting hot water in my coffee cup. I hear the door open. I look up, and it's a whole shit ton of guards coming in. All the men in black. Some call it the CERT team, the men in black, the riot squad. It has a lot of different names, right? They ran the camera back. Not only did they see the first altercation with him getting slapped up, TL going to the closet, TL going back to the cell, black involved. They watched all this stuff transpire. Watched Twin come out, pick the knife up, go back into his cell with it, at which point they come running in. You see Twin, he tries to real quick make it towards the cell. They tell the officer in the booth, hey, shut cell such such, shut cell such such. Once that cell door shuts, you can't get it open. Investigators, unit managers, you name it, lieutenants, sergeants, they got a dude over here stabbed in the stomach. That's a bad wound. And no type of weapon to produce for what happened. They tell everybody else locked down. Black and Twin stand by their door. They let all of us go in the cell, but not Black and Twin. They got to stand by their door. Turn around and be cuffed up. They have to wait until all the other inmates are in before they can cuff you. Because if I'm standing there in cuffs and there's inmates running around and somebody attacks me while I'm in cuffs, I now have a lawsuit against DOC. So after we all go in the cell, I now stand at the door and I watch, and they cuff Black and they cuff Twin. And they're not in the cell a matter of, I think he just put it right underneath the mat. 10, 15 seconds. They come out, they lead Twin up out of there. They take Black up out of there. Black played a part in it. Black went down there to rob. Black was just as treacherous as Twin. So now they both got to go. And just like that, Black and Twin are gone. We fast forward again. We go on lock after this. Now they do an internal investigation. Why did y'all even open the doors to let them back out? We hadn't done investigating. You didn't open the doors. Some of these officers are just... Lacey was not the smartest officer there was. Keep them on lock. Next 3 or 4 days, we would stay on lock. They'd run the camera back, run it back, watch him go back and forth from this closet, figuring out what he had going on. We finally come off lock, and I put in for the barber. I go see Ash, get my little beard lined up, try to freshen that up, right? We ain't got a beef behind it. I'll wait. And over here, Ash talking to another dude in the barber shop. Man, Twin stuck, old boy. He was probably going to stick your ass. He wasn't about to stick nothing. Well, he stabbed the shit out of TL. You know what Ash said? Better him than me. Never seen Black again. Never seen Twin again. Never seen TL again. Making weapons in prison, making weapons in general, dealing with dirtbags and thinking it's going to end good. It's not. It always ends bad. TL, if you see this, I don't know if you've gone back to prison, if you're even still alive. Like, I don't know. If you see this, you're an idiot for thinking you could trust somebody that it's been proven time and time again can't be trusted. You got a man who's in a bad situation, who's made threats, who's done terrible things in the past to other inmates, now requesting something from you, and you honestly believed he was going to pay you? You got to be the stupidest motherfucker. Yeah, that's the story on TL, Twin, Black, and Ash. And how one man thought he could make weapons and make a living in prison, and all he really did was open up the floodgates to get himself opened up. Correction real quick, we'll be going live Friday night somewhere between 8 and 10 o'clock. I believe that is the 22nd of August. Make sure you tune in. If you haven't already, hit the like, hit the subscribe, do all the things that make YouTube what it is. But anyways, these jails, these prisons, these institutions, they're all just crazier worlds inside of a already crazier world we live in. And as always, y'all know what I'm doing. Just trying to keep y'all entertained. Oh, you know how to entertain? And like always, this is Jay Williams. Let's live life. And to all my real ones, and there are some real ones watching, because y'all still watching me. Now, y'all know how we do. Salute. You big dummy.